effort. The guys have been fighting. It was great to see them come back and fight again. It's good to get one on the road. We got a lot of work to do to keep coming, but it was the way our year's been going. Those kids keep fighting for us. It was nice to keep fighting and get on the right side of the ledger.
Was that the most sustained defensive pressure you've had, especially in the second half?
Again, you know, when they got the running game going, all the read game, the quarterback run, the stretch stuff, you know, they had some rhythm and worked us pretty good. When we did at the end get the one drive and got them into maybe throwing a little bit more, played to our advantage, and we were able to get some pressure. I think it was the defense created some stops, and the turnovers helped a bunch. And we were, first time in a long time, we were kind of not playing, even though we've been battling, it's like we've been fighting some games uphill. And you feel like you're there, but you're kind of uphill coming. And you know, this one we were ahead of the deal, and maybe that forced their hand where they got a little, you know, but when they ran their package and ran the ball, they worked us really well and had a better game than we did.
Go with Sutfeld just for a spark, or
a little bit? You know, we had to pick. We threw it in the middle of the field and had a couple, and you know, Cam's been pretty good, but taking care of the ball, you know, and I just thought that was an errant play, and you know, and that's kind of been our deal every week. We think they're both about the same. Cam's a little more experienced. If you watch them practice, you can't tell who's throwing it unless you saw who, you know, who it came out of. They're about the same. Just would, you know, don't want a guy make a mistake he's done, but you know, we did struggle a little bit early, so we went with it, and for the most part, you know, Nate did okay. I don't know if he did that much better. There's been some games where Cam was doing good. I don't know if it's that much better than Nate would have. It was just the dynamics of the day. They both got to get better, and we got to keep pushing them to this.
The last drive, run, and then that set up the play action on that last drive.
That was a good job by Coach Luttrell. Kind of, you know, we were struggling to get the run game, went 120 yards. You know, Illinois' defense, you know, their front seven's very good. They're athletic. Played a bunch of challenge man coverage and worked us on third downs. We got to be better there in our plan and execution. But we had a hard time getting the run game going. We made a little deal. Got two tailbacks in the game. You know, with Roundtree, it's a little bit of a tailback receiver. You know, ran a couple kind of jet sweeps with him. A couple downhill run plays. D'Angelo had a really big run. Popped one for 15 or 20. But that was our best drive of the game, and that was defense made a stop, and that was a really good drive. Good job of closing it up.
Was there a lot of stuff on that drive that you guys hadn't shown before? I mean, I don't remember seeing the Roundtree play in a previous game.
Well, we actually, the first play we ran for 10, we ran early in the game, and he got 2 or 3. My comment was, "You sure you want to do that?" And like, yeah, the way they're playing, we think we got it, and we blocked it good. So.
You talk about Reflogel today. It seemed like he was everywhere.
Yeah, he's you know. I mean, we keep saying it, and that's the tough deal. He and Will Matty are pretty special. They play right in the middle of all the muck. They don't stick out like a quarterback or a linebacker or a tailback. So when your leaders are right in the middle of the fight, they're not as flashy. They don't catch your radar blip as much as they should. He's the one guy that when he talks, I think everybody on our team totally listens. And I think he buys and gets what we're trying to do maybe more than anyone. I think he's all in. He took the hook, line, sinker, the pole, and everything. And he's all in. We talked about we needed to make a play, and our definition of making a play was you play as hard as you can every play, the plays will happen. And I think Adam embraces that as much as anyone on our team. It's a great game for him.
I'm sorry. The way that Hebron has played the last couple of weeks, just what kind of kicked in for him?
Excuse me?
Greg Hebron.
And what about him?
And the way he's played the last couple of weeks, and even today, the way he's kicked in, what kind of jump started him?
Well, you know, a year ago we're playing him at corner, you know, out of necessity, and we thought with some of the recruiting we did and some maturity, we started at nickel. But when you play a lot of these teams that aren't as spread as much, you know, your nickel's not on the field. We had an injury, got him at safety, and we probably just stumbled into that's his spot. He's a very smart guy. He has been recognized almost every week, not only if he hadn't had the winning performance or if he hadn't been a player of the game with a winning performance, he also has gotten the same deal special teams. So he's playing on punt team or kickoff cover the same way he's playing on defense. And that's a sign of a really good player. It's one thing to play, you know, kicking us is more important. And I think, again, today, to get a win on the road, you got to take care of the ball. You got to be pretty good in the kicking game. And we were pretty good. Well, Greg Heaven, when we grade tape, I promise you Greg Heaven had a good kicking game performance. That doesn't stick up because of the position doesn't flash. But he's one of our best players. And he's had a heck of a year. And we'll need him for 4 more weeks as we push forward for more.
You've had a couple of games where big penalties have hurt you in big times. It had to be nice to be on the receiving end of that today.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, penalties are what they are. And, we had one over on their sideline we're talking about, and we talked today, we had to play as hard as we could without crossing the line. No retaliation, no cheap stuff, nothing after the whistle, nothing out of bounds. So it was good to have a physical effort, not get a bunch of cheap stuff defensively or offensively. And, I don't know about, calls. I mean, they call what they see. I think, we got, our league's pretty good with what they do. So, sometimes there's as many lip ins as lip outs. There's good breaks and bad breaks. And it was nice today, but I think at the end of the day, the way the defense performed, not winning a turnover ratio and playing well in a kicking game was a good formula. That's what, when we talk about our offense and all the wide open stuff and all that, that's what wins games, not a wide open offense. Playing good D, getting some turnovers, playing good kicking. Now we got to get the offense back up to speed because that wasn't very good today.
Coach, talk about getting the reward on Saturday after the kids have put in a lot of effort for several weeks now. How was that locker room? Was it any different than locker rooms you've walked in post-game in recent weeks?
Well, it was good. I mean, it wasn't. I think they expected it though. I mean, I don't think they were like just jumping up and down. And we talked about you want to get used to that feeling, but the best way to get used to it is to prepare and and tonight you're on a college campus. Well, let's be. We're trying to be a winning team all the time, and just not on Saturdays. And we've been doing a lot of things right, and it's nice to get a Saturday scoreboard go our way, and we want a lot more of those. But we just by no means was it boring, but or blah. But at the same time, I don't think our guys were just going crazy. I think our team knows we can win. I think our team believes it can win, and I think they came out today and played solid and handled themselves like a winning team. And the record doesn't state that yet, but we're working hard and we're trying to move it in that direction. I think they're embracing those values.
You've talked a lot about trying to put a full defensive effort together. 14 points in the first half, only 3 in the second. You talked about the option read game, but stepping up and stopping them from scoring a touchdown in the second half has got to be something.
No doubt. I mean, the stop down the goal line. We had another one last week. That was when we talked about making a play. One conversion. We don't make that play. They scored a touchdown. We make that play. They almost missed the field goal. And so, so those are little things and adding up. If you look at it, what they finished up with 17, right? They had 7 on their opening drive. So we told them afterwards, that's 55 minutes of holding a team to 10. Last week we give up 31. 7 was a pick 6, so we hold Navy to 24. So that's back-to-back weeks defensively of playing more solid, better football. Still, it's not good. We got to get on blocks. We got to keep improving. We got to play better. And you can say our offense. Our offense, it's really easy. You look pretty average. And we played pretty good defense today. And we convert 1/3 down. We look pretty average. So we're a young team that's not young. It's just young because they played a lot of games. It's just young where we got to keep getting stronger. We got to keep pushing because we got a lot of time on task, and we can keep grooming and keep growing these teams, and that's pretty exciting. And that's what as coaches, we're kind of each day just keep building, keep bringing it, keep doing it every day. The kids have bought into that, and we had a better week this week than last week. And because that's all we're trying to do. We didn't target, we didn't red letter, we didn't circle a game. We were getting better every day. We want to go out there and play as hard as we could. Let the scoreboard be what it is.
One more for Coach.
What's it mean for this group just to have that kind of fourth quarter performance? I mean, just in terms of confidence, to have that kind of fourth quarter performance that you can go forward with after you've had a couple, especially after last week against Navy.
Again, I think, good. But again, we didn't go through in any game. We've talked about, showing plays of what we did wrong. Keep showing all the things we're doing good because we truly believe we've got a lot more positives than negatives going right now, and we want to keep accentuating the positives. So our deal was we're going to be in every game you're going to play in. If you play as hard as you can play, you're going to be in close games. And that being said, turnover ratio, 3rd down conversions, score zone conversions, kicking game, that's going to win. And we talked about it all week and put together a game plan to try to do that. We got to do a little bit better on offense, but in general, that's why we had that success today. And our deal when we scored to go up 14 was, we were playing 60 minutes. Let's try our darndest not to let them in the end zone. They almost got. I think at the end, those kids to fight and hold them because it'd been easy to let them in and say, okay, now get the onside kick. That was a huge deal by the defense to make that play. And that's a positive that I don't think a lot of people will catch. Because even though you quote think you got the game won, a lot of people would have put their hands team out there because somebody would have broke down. For those kids to make those 4 down stops down there, that was good to see. one thing they played well. It was nice the way they finished, because that was a great thing for our defense, and we'll build on that. Okay, guys, appreciate y'all
Thanks,
being
guys.
here.